you make content teaching people how to do something, anything, and you're stuck on how to make money from this audience that you're building, feeling overwhelmed on whether to make a monthly subscription, a course, a community, sell high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket, or you feel like you should be making more money based on how many followers you have, then this is for you. And no, this is not about ad revenue or brand deals. Those are just going to limit you. So here's my promise. By the end of this video, you're going to learn super easy, lazy things you can do today to start making money from your audience or start making more. And this is without using any fancy funnels or complicated technology or automations. First, I'm going to walk you through immediate changes that you can do today that are going to have a big impact. And then after that, I'll show you some plug and play offers that are proven to make bank so you can stop guessing on what to sell. And if you're wondering, is this really going to work for me? Well, here's the proof that I have. My name is Ben Pilton, and I've generated over 304,000 US dollars in the past 6 months for my clients using this approach. And we won school games in June of this year, met Alex Hormozi and Sam Ovens. So me personally, I'm not guessing, just sharing with you what's already worked for me. So step number 1, immediate changes. I'm going to go through these one by one based on platform. If you have an Instagram account and you're putting content out, make sure that you have just one link in your bio, and having a link tree does not count for this, okay? I'm going to show you an example of one that has just one link. As you can see, if I click this link in his bio, it's going to take me directly to the page. There's nothing else that pops up. Here's an example of the opposite. So if I click the link here in the bio, it does not take me directly to a page. Instead, 3 options pop up. Now, if I'm someone that doesn't really know much about this, I'm not going to know what to do. In this case, what I would do if I was this person is just have the YouTube channel. Why? Because people watch way longer on YouTube on average than they do on Instagram or TikTok. And if they go to YouTube, then there's a way higher chance they're going to watch more and therefore gain more trust in you and therefore be much more likely to purchase something from you, okay? Either way, you want to just have one link here. Even if it was just his school community, you want to have just that link, and it's going to make things way, way better. Now, if you absolutely have to have multiple links in your bio, what I would do is have it all go to one landing page and then filter people on that page based on what options they choose. But I would not use Linktree, and I would not use Instagram's built-in feature here, okay? So the next thing is, again, the bio link should go to one page. It should not be confusing or have a lot of forks in the road. If you have multiple offers, either have multiple profiles, so different Instagram for different offers to different niches, or you can have one landing page linked and then filter people on that landing page, okay? Another thing is to spend 10 times more time making hooks. What do I mean by that? Per hook that you make, however much time you're spending right now, times that by 10 and spend that much time on it. The reason for that is because if you can nail the hook and it's so good, your views will automatically increase because the algorithm wants things like that, because it's going to keep people on the platform. But usually how we think as humans is like, yeah, you know, that hook sounds good or it feels good to say, and then that's it. But if you actually spent more time doing more research, looking at other people's hooks and actually looking at your own data from your hooks and coming up with the hooks that are the most likely to get higher views, and then obviously testing them over time, this is going to give you returns that you cannot even imagine, because the views are going to increase by such a large margin compared to trying to make the content of the reel or the video better, okay? Now, to do that, I accidentally put this twice, but to do that, I would use pain points. So go and do some research into the pain points of your audience and say it in a way that they say it, right? Or say it in a way that you know will elicit a response or like a trigger from them, right? Another thing that can be really good with this as well is comment CTA reels. So if you have a really good hook, pain point, and then a comment CTA reel, it can be absolutely deadly, okay? So for example, look at this guy's video for the AI comment CTA. You can see it has 1,500 comments, nearly as much likes as it has. And these are all essentially leads for the guy, right? They're going to come into his backend and he's going to have their email. If he collects it, he's going to have their account and everything like that. And he can keep selling to these people, keep nurturing them over time. And it's basically recurring profit, right? So 100% do CTA reels if you're not doing them already. Now on YouTube, again, similar thing goes into play, which is that one link in your bio only. So if I go to my own YouTube bio right here, you can see I just have this one link here. If I click it, it will go to my website. Now, another example is the one here. So if I go to his page, hey, this is Ahmad. You can see that there is the lead magnet here, which I click and it does go. However, there's also 5 more links. So if I accidentally clicked here, or if I'm on mobile and I click, then it's gonna open up 5 more links here. Now, in terms of the CTA on the description, you want to make sure it's the first line, okay? So he actually does do that. So if I go to one of his videos here, and if I scroll down to the description, you can see it is the first line. It's visible without even the clicking the read more, right? Usually what people do, which is not good, is that their CTA link is after the read more. So I have to click this and then it opens this up, right? Obviously, you want to have just one link instead of having a lot of links. Again, similar concept to Instagram. And another thing is you want to have this as the pinned comment. So this is my last video. As you can see, pinned comment right here with the link with the CTA, okay? The reason for that is because some people on mobile, they won't even see the description. Like the description does not even show, but the comments will show. Like the first comment will show. And so if you have that there, then increases the likelihood and there's no cost to you to do that. Now, another thing I would do if I was on YouTube was I would make a flywheel VSL. What that basically is you write a VSL specifically for YouTube, try to make it as evergreen as you can and make it as like replayable as you can, but make it extremely valuable at the same time, like way more value than you think that you should put, like 10x the amount of value, and make that. And the way that you can make that, I'm going to show you how to write the VSLs later here. But essentially what you'll do is that video will act as your selling point, and every future video you make, your first link should just go to that flywheel, because that's gonna do the selling for you essentially, right? Doesn't matter if you have a low ticket offer, high ticket, it does not matter. This VSL will, everyone will go to it, everyone will be redirected to it, and it will handle objections, it will hit the biggest pain points, it will do the selling for you in the best way possible, because people are gonna watch and learn more about you and gain more trust in you, okay? So I'll definitely do that. If even one part of this video gave you an idea on how to make more money from your audience, then go ahead to the first link in the description, book a call, and I'll audit your funnel completely for free and show you exactly where and what you need to change in order to make the most amount of money from your audience and not leave any leaks there where there's people that would buy that are not buying in your audience. Now, in terms of TikTok and X or Threads, it's kind of similar to Instagram, to be honest. I would just say make sure the links in your bio are the same as Instagram and YouTube, because if it goes to different places, then it's going to have a different result, and it can also make some people confused. So just make sure that it all goes to the same place. And one thing about Threads and X is I would make sure you also have text-based content there, not just reels and stuff, because that's kind of what people use it for. So if your content is just videos, then that's not really what people are there for. Now, in general, just some general things that you can do today. Survey your audience. Write a survey, okay, and drop it in your next reel or your next video as the comment CTA or as the first line in your YouTube description, okay? We just did this with one of our creators and we got very valuable insights to our audience, who they are, what their buying power is, etc. And you can basically use this framework to do it. So you can use the budget, authority, need, and timing framework. Basically, you want to get what is their budget? Are they the person that makes the final decision? Do they actually have a need for this thing that I'm selling? And is it the right time for them to actually get this, okay? And what you can ask them is like, if you were guaranteed to get dream outcome, how much would you invest? If you're guaranteed to become a professional football player, how much would you be willing to invest to get that goal, right? This is a good question for the budget. I just wanted to give you guys some kind of inspiration there, okay? Now, I would also write a VSL. So if you have a landing page, write a VSL for the landing page, or any other kind of landing page similar type of thing. Write a VSL just for that, okay? For that product, for that high ticket booking call, for that service that you give, whatever it is, write a VSL. This is different to the YouTube VSL, okay? Completely different. Make sure they're not the same, because if someone clicks the link in the YouTube VSL and then it comes to the same VSL again, it's not gonna make sense, okay? How should you write this VSL? Okay, so the hook should be very good, as mentioned earlier. You want to use pain points as much as you can. You want to relate to the audience using the words that they use to describe their own situation with regards to what you teach as best as you can. You want to define the problem, and again, you want to go into as much specifics. The more specifics you can go into when you're writing the VSL, the better it's going to be for you. And if you can make it that only they will understand this, it's going to do wonders for you, because they'll just immediately get hooked, okay? Break their beliefs, okay? Tell them what they currently think, and then tell them why that's not actually true, and show them why, right? Then you can stack some proof, so results you've gotten, who you are, and why they should listen to you essentially. Then you can present them your offer. Okay. Again, you can obviously make this way longer, but these are just like the basic bullet points. And then you can give like bonuses and stuff as well. And you can maybe use urgency, stuff like that. You can also give a price anchor. So you talk about how much value it is, and then you drop the price. And then you can anchor it with the bonuses as well. Then you can use a guarantee if you have one. You can drop that in there. Again, add scarcity, add deadlines, limited seats, stuff like that. But keep your word to those. So don't just throw them in there, but actually keep them. If you say 20 spots, then it's 20 spots. And then give them a very, very clear CTA. Like, go under this video and click the yellow button, and then maybe visually show it as well. I will do that. And that's it. That's how easy the VSL can be. It does not need to be super complicated. Yes, you can take it to other levels, but this will do just fine as a baseline, okay? So this is what I would recommend to do. Then I would also create a basic landing page if you don't have one. There's so many tools. Like, if you just go and type like AI landing page builder, you'll find so many tools. I'm not going to mention any of them in this video, but there's one I'll mention which is not an AI maker, which is called Framer. That's the one I use to make my website, and it's really, really good. It's super clean. It does have templates, so you could use those, and it makes it easier. You can just like replace the words, change some colors and stuff like that, and it makes really, really clean pages. If you really don't want to do any type of like manual work, then I'll maybe just use the AI one and make some small adjustments. And the last thing I want to say, general advice, is just have one offer to one niche, okay? If you're trying to make money from your audience, then the more you have multiple offers to different types of people, to different niches, it's going to be much more difficult operationally for you to actually sell this. So I would just have one offer to one niche. And once you start making a lot of money from that, because the money is in the niches, as they say, then you can start having like multiple offers. Even Amazon, Jeff Bezos started just by selling books, and then now Amazon sells pretty much everything. Obviously, the story is more complicated than that, but in general. So that's what I would say for step one, okay? So these are immediate changes you can do today to start making money. Now, step two, plug and play offers. So before I go into the plug and play offers, I want you guys to keep this in mind. This is the offer equation by Alex Hormozi. So basically, you want the top of this equation, because this is a division equation. You want the top to be as high as possible and the bottom to be as low as possible. So what does that mean in English? You want the prospect's dream outcome, the outcome that they get from your service, your coaching, whatever it is, to be as high as possible, the highest possible outcome you can give. Then you want to increase their perceived likelihood of achievement of this outcome. So you want them to think that it's very, 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 very likely I'm going to achieve this, okay? And that can be done multiple different ways, through your content, through guarantees, stuff like that. And then you want to have as low time delay from when they actually start to when they get that dream outcome. You want that time to be as low as possible. Obviously, some things like fitness and stuff will take time, right? But whatever is in your control, try to make it as low as possible. Do not waste time without a reason. Then you want to have their effort and sacrifice to also be as low as possible. So for example, a done for you offer is going to be more valuable than a done with you offer, right? Obviously there's nuances, but in general, because there's less effort and sacrifice on their part, then it will be more valuable. So just keep this equation in mind when you're coming up with offers. I want to quickly touch on lead magnets. Obviously, really good content that you make can be lead magnets too. However, you can also have stuff like PDFs, a short guide, videos, stuff like that. And the goal with this is you want to make sure this is better than other people's paid stuff. So if you have competitors, go look at what they're selling essentially and make your lead magnet better than what they're selling. And you're pretty much guaranteeing to take their customers, right? That's kind of a crazy thing. And what is a lead magnet? You want it to be a complete solution, means you're going to fully solve a very small problem. So the reason for that is it's going to open the door to more problems. So when you're, for example, let's say you're a car detailer, you teach car detailing. If you teach them how to pick the right, let's say, window cleaner, I just came up with this, but I don't know if that's a good thing or no. But let's say you teach them how to pick the right window cleaner. Okay, after that, what? They have a fully operating car detailing business? No. They still need to know, like, how to pick the right thing to clean the rims, the inside of the car, etc., right? So there's still a lot more things they need to do to have a successful car detailing business. And another example is selling AI automation. So if you were selling AI automations, you might give a list of AI agents that they should not sell and a list of AI agents to actually sell. Now, once you give them that, they need to know how to make these agents. They need to know, how do I actually outreach to people to sell these, right? There's so many things left to do still, but this gives them the right first step and the right solution to that small problem. Okay, complete solution. Now, the way that you actually want to come up with these is you want to look at your core offer. Okay, what is it that you actually help people with, and then break it up into steps and then solve one of those steps. That's the best way you can do it. Okay, if you don't like doing sales calls or taking them yourself, and you don't want to have to hire a closer, and or you don't want to do coaching calls, like live group coaching calls, let's say, then what you want to do is you want to have a low ticket offer, because this is probably going to be the best for you operationally as well. Either a low ticket or mid ticket offer, and that can be stuff like monthly memberships, one-time purchases, courses, PDF, stuff like that, right? Like, you can get very imaginative with it. Essentially, it's something that you made once that people can get continuous access to, or one-time purchase, and then they have full access to lifetime for that. Okay, there's obviously advantages and disadvantages when it comes to something like this, is that maybe you won't, without having a high volume of people, you're not going to be able to make as much money. So if you have a very, very limited audience, then you want to sell them something which is as expensive as possible to make the most amount of money from it. If on the other hand, you have a huge audience and it's not really a problem for you to do low ticket, or you're not worried that you're not going to make as much money because you have so many people following you and you know they'll buy it, then you can definitely go for low ticket, and then you won't have to get on coaching calls, because you might have to do a lot of coaching calls with high ticket if you have a huge audience. Okay, there's obviously, again, more disadvantages and advantages to each, but in general, if you don't want to really do sales and you feel like your audience is decent enough, then you could always do a low ticket or a mid ticket offer. This can be between, everyone has different ranges, but like $5 to like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. I would say like anything less than 1,000 is pretty much mid ticket. So that's my opinion on it. Now, what are the actual plug and play offers you can do? You can do a win your money back offer. So this really ties well with if you're going to upsell people only. Basically, you tell someone, hey, if you lose 5 kilograms in 6 weeks, first of all, pay me $500 as a deposit. If you lose 5 kilograms in the next 6 weeks, I will return you your $500. If you don't, I keep it. And this is a very strong motivator for people. But then what happens during that time is that they actually get the result that they were looking for the whole time. And then they're much more likely to continue, as long as, okay, this is a very important part, as long as they have a long-term goal. Okay, if their goal gets solved within that 6 weeks, all they wanted was to lose 5 kilo, there's going to be no reason for them to actually continue working with you, right? So there needs to be actually a longer term goal in order for the win your money back to work. But what you do once they actually win their money back is you get on a call with them before the end of their program, and you upsell them into the more expensive thing using their 500 as credit. So you can say, because you did so well and you accomplished all these tasks and everything, and you lost the 5 kilo, you're on track to lose it. I can actually take that 500 and apply it to a longer term program, because this was a longer term goal for you, right? Like, you have a 90-day goal that you want to lose, let's say 10 kilos, right? Let's keep you on that track, and we can basically just use this as a deposit, as like a credit towards that more expensive program. So you basically got this for free, right? That's pretty cool. You could also do a giveaway. This obviously works better if your audience already kind of knows your offer. If you don't have an offer, then I would not suggest doing a giveaway, because no one's going to know what or how it is, right? But if it's something that people know and they want, then a giveaway can be really, really good. Like, if people know you do, let's say, sales coaching, and you're giving away like 6 months of your coaching, then that could be really, really good, right? But if you've never done an offer and you just have an audience sitting there, and then you say giveaway, like, it's not really going to make sense with an offer. Obviously, there's giveaways of things that everyone understands, like cars and stuff like that. But with an offer specifically, if they don't know what it is, then no one's going to sign up for it. It's going to be unlikely, right? Not saying it's impossible, but it's not the best thing either. You could also do a decoy offer. A decoy offer is basically you offer something very cheap and, not super valuable, but decently valuable. And then once they actually click, or once they come to the location of purchase, then you say, yeah, you can buy this $5 PDF, for example, or you could get this $50 thing, which gives you like 500 more things plus the thing you were going to get in that anyway. But there's so many things stacked that are valuable that makes it kind of like a no-brainer compared to getting the other one, right? For example, if you're a weight loss coach, you could say, here's a PDF with 5 exercises that will help you lose weight. And then once they click in, you can say, oh, that's $5. And then once they click in, oh wow, $5 for this thing, that's pretty cool. You can say, or you can pay $50 and you can get access to a community with me where I give live calls, where you also get these 5 exercises plus 100 more, and you get structured routines, and you get bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3. It's like, of course, it's a no-brainer. Like, I would rather pay 50 and get all of that instead of pay 5 and just get those 5 exercises, right? That's an example that could work with a decoy offer. Another offer that could work is a buy X get Y free. Obviously, everyone knows about this, but here's something that I found really interesting with it. If you do something like buy 1 get 1 free, that's good. But if you do something like buy 1 get 2 free, that's like even more deadly. The more free there is, the better it is. Now, you want to make sure it's still profitable for you. So if you sell 1 month of coaching for $500 and then you're giving 2 extra free on top of that in the buy 1 get 2 free, then that's not really going to be profitable for you. It's going to be a great offer for the customer. But let's say your price for 1 month of coaching is $500 and you want to sell 3 months, so that's $1,500. You could say buy 1 month of coaching for $1,500 and get 2 free. Now, you're still getting the $1,500, but it's a way better sounding offer, right? And one caveat is this will not work with things where people already know the price. So if everyone knows the price of your coaching that is $500 for a month, and then you suddenly increase it to $1,500 and you say buy 1 get 2 free, sure, some people that have no idea might find it interesting, as long as in general everyone knows, doesn't really have a price for that type of thing. If your product or service is a general product or service where everyone knows the price, then like in general the price ranges, then it won't really work. So just keep that in mind as well for the buy X get Y free. But if you can find a way to make it work, then this is like one of the best things that you can do. It's like a timeless offer essentially. I don't even know how old I was when I first saw this type of offer, and it still works to this day. So that's the buy X get Y free. Now, if you don't actually mind taking sales calls, or you don't mind also doing coaching calls, or you want to make more money, you want to make the most amount of money and your audience is not that big, then I would definitely do a high ticket offer. The way that this works is that, of course, you're going to constantly need to be closing people. So you can't just do like, 1 month and then stop selling. You need to keep selling because they're going to pay you once for like 3 months or 6 months or however long the coaching is. And then that's the money done, right? You want to be able to constantly make money. So you need to constantly sell and constantly have a funnel for this. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can sell the high ticket offer. I think the best way is pairing it up with a low ticket or mid ticket attraction offer, or like a lead magnet, and using the lead magnet or the attraction offer, like the initial offer, for example, any of these ones, as a gateway into the high ticket offer. By the way, it does not specifically need to be one of these ones, right? Just keep that in mind. It can be anything. Like it can be the one-time purchase, the monthly membership, the course, PDF, whatever it is. And then what you can do is get them onto a high ticket call from there, or at the end of their program, or whatever it is that makes the most sense and that is the most smooth. And then you can upsell them using a rollover upsell, ideally if possible, which is using the amount of money they've already paid you as a credit into your high ticket program. You could also use an anchor upsell. So if let's say they came in from a free thing, or they didn't really pay that much, maybe $20, $50, then what you can tell them is you actually have something really, really expensive, and you present that first as if like that's the one everyone takes, right? So a good example is like you go into a suit shop and you start trying on some suits, and then you see that suit is like $10,000 and you had that budget of like $200, right? That is gonna make you shocked. But then the tailor offers you a suit which is like, let's say $1,000. You're gonna be like, wow, this is like way cheaper than now. I'm just gonna get this one, even though you didn't actually initially plan to spend that much money. Okay, so that's what the anchor upsell is, and it can work, but you need to make sure you actually offer this very expensive thing. Otherwise, it's not really gonna work. So if you don't offer, let's say, one-on-one coaching, and then you pitch it on the call, and then someone says yes, then what are you gonna do at that point? You have no system set up, you have no structure set up for it. So I would not recommend that. But I would recommend actually having some sort of structure and system for your more expensive offer and selling it and acting like that's like the thing that everyone buys. And then once they have like sticker shock or they're shocked at the price, what you can do What you can do is you can tell them, is XYZ thing that, sets this apart as the more expensive thing so important to you? Is the one-on-one call in this offer like super important to you, or is it a deal breaker for you or something? And once they say no or not really or something along those lines, then you can tell them, cool, we can actually just remove that and then bring the price down, way down to XYZ amount, right? And that's something that can just work psychologically. So in general, what advice would I have in terms of offers? I would say if you choose one of these offers, or if you're thinking of coming out with something, do a launch campaign at least 3 to 4 weeks out. The more further out you are, the better it is. The more you can do like whispers and teases and stuff like that throughout, like, let's say a year. But obviously this is not realistic. So if you have like a 3-4 week run up, make sure that you do a whisper, tease, shout launch campaign. And the way that you can do this is whispers. Just keep in mind that you're not giving everything away. You're not going to specific details. You just want to build some curiosity that you're coming out with a new offer, okay? Teases is now you're actually showing maybe parts or snippets of the thing, but you're not obviously showing the whole thing. You still want to leave a lot of it up to the imagination, but you are showing snippets and being more specific. And then at the end, once you're actually launching, you can start shouting. And then the 3 days prior to launch, just start shouting across the rooftops, aka just putting this everywhere multiple times a day, multiple emails a day, multiple stories a day, multiple shorts a day, whatever it is, promoting this. And one thing that I love, that I find is so good, is having a wait list or a paid wait list. So from when you start doing whispers, you can start saying like, if you want to be the first to be able to join this program, then join the waitlist. It's completely free. You get bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3 just for being on the waitlist. For example, we did this, and we did this recently with one of our clients. And what we did was a free waitlist. And what they got was they got 48 hours of early access to be able to book their spot onto this new program. They got a free community of like-minded people, right, that they can start interacting with, and which is, by the way, amazing, because they start getting nurtured by themselves, right, and building connections between themselves before you even launch your offer. And the last thing you can give them is, for example, like a free mystery video or something. You can build curiosity with that as like the last bonus, or whatever bonuses you want to add on top of that for being part of the waitlist. Again, the general rule with why I'm saying to give things with the waitlist and not just have just like oh, you're in the waitlist, it's done, is that people always need carrots to be able to do something. They always need a reason to be able to do something. Yes, being able to be the first to know is cool, but it would be cooler if they had more reasons, more bonuses, more things to be able to have as a part of that, okay? So, bonus from me is that if you want me to audit your funnel completely for free and actually break down where you need to do what offer I think is going to be best for you, and what funnel I think is actually going to convert the most based on your audience size and stuff like that, then click the first link in the description or the pinned comment, book a call, and let's have a chat.